I'm Tanner Olson, and this is the Walk a Little Slower podcast. Here we talk about hope and heaviness, joy and sorrow, life and God, questions and answers, and everything in between. This is a podcast where you are invited to slow down, to lean in, to hold fast, and to eventually keep going. Welcome. Welcome back to another episode of the Walk a Little Slower podcast. Before we jump into this episode, I wanted to thank you for all the kind feedback on my latest mini book titled Keep Hope Close, Words to Hold Tight. In case you missed it, I released this short little book titled Keep Hope Close, Words to Hold Tight right before Christmas. And I sold out of them on the first day, but they're back in stock. So if you're looking for some hope or you want to give someone a gift of hope, check out Keep Hope Close on my website. Every copy is signed and every copy has 2 handwritten pages inside of it, which means it takes me a little while to put them together, but I'm really proud of this book. I had a lot of fun putting it together with my friend James Seleska, who I work with everything that I do. James pretty much touches because he's brilliant and kind. So if you're looking for a gift or you need a little reminder of hope, check out Keep Hope Close on writtentospeak.com. All right, enough of that. On this episode of the podcast, I'll be sharing a short story and a poem. So here is episode 49 of the Walk a Little Slower podcast. First, a story. The other morning, I opened up the refrigerator to get yogurt, and I couldn't find it. I searched and searched, but could not locate the yogurt. I knew it was there. The day before, I wrote it on the grocery list. I drove to the grocery store. I went up and down the aisles. I put the yogurt in the cart, checked out, put the yogurt in the shopping bag, brought the yogurt home with all the other groceries, and then I put the yogurt in the refrigerator. But I didn't see it. I closed my eyes and opened them as if the yogurt was going to magically appear, but no yogurt. I'm a terrible magician. I did the last thing I wanted to do. I crouched down. My knees cracked as I went low and nothing. I shut the refrigerator door and opened it one more time. Still, no yogurt. I gave myself a restart. I walked to the other side of the kitchen and then back to the fridge, opened it up, and still, no yogurt. I got on my knees, I moved things around, I called out for it, I prayed to God, and no yogurt. I clapped twice. No yogurt. The yogurt I had purchased yesterday was no longer in the refrigerator. And so I did the only logical thing. I asked my wife if she could help me. So she opened the refrigerator door, reached out her hand, and pulled out the yogurt. It was right in front of me the entire time. It was in the middle row, dead center, and I missed it. And sometimes we need help seeing what it is that we are looking for. Sometimes what we are searching for is right in front of us, and sometimes the good is hard to find, but it's there. It's there. And sometimes joy seems far when fear clouds our vision, and sometimes hope seems far when life feels heavy. And today, I am reminding myself that there is joy in the uncertain and that hope is breathed into the chaos. Today, I believe there is light breaking through the cracks of pain and goodness is growing in the dark shadows. And although joy and hope are hard to see, I believe they are there. Joy is not far off. Hope is not distant. Keep looking. It's there. It's there. To finish, I'd like to share a poem with you titled As You Hold What Has Become. And I wrote this for the end of the year, but I never got a chance to share it on the podcast. And so I thought this would be a good time to do that. So this is a poem titled As You Hold What Has Become. And it goes like this. When you turn around and see what has come to be, I hope you give yourself some grace as you hold what has become. For all that was and all that is, let all of this be a reminder that you found a way to make it through into another day. You pushed and fell your way forward, tripped and stumbled, got turned around, mixed up, lost and found. You took leaps of faith while being carried every step of the way. You were carried every step of the way. And through the change and trying and the seasons of trying to change, here you remain. Push back if you may, but you are loved all the same. You've got pockets full of unanswered prayers and prayers answered in ways you never saw coming your way. You've made it through fight after fight, and night after night you have been welcomed again and again by the gracious morning light. And maybe you're like me, and you're beginning to believe everything is going to be all right. You've grown and gone on, returned and been wrong. You've wished and wondered and waited for this and that and the other. You've searched and fought, been found and lost and thought. You've tried to not lose your mind and believe the lie that you are behind. Before you go on, hold what has been handed to you. The broken and beautiful. The joy and sorrow, the heaviness and heartbreak, the miracles and mysteries. And as another new beginning arrives, open your hands and breathe. Turn around and see that goodness will continue to follow you and me. I hope you give yourself some grace as you hold what has become. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Walk a Little Slower podcast. Special thanks to Matt Daring for creating the music for this podcast. Please visit writtentospeak.com to check out the latest blog, grab books, or book me for an upcoming event. Or if you just want to send a message my way, you can do so from there. I also added a new feature to the website. It's called Ask Me Anything, and it's just that. You can send in an anonymous question or writing prompt for me to write about. I've been putting some of those up on my blog. Yes, I still blog, so you can check that out at writtentospeak.com. And if you would like to support this podcast and my ministry, go ahead and visit patreon.com/writtentospeak to become a patron. Your monthly donation will allow me to continue to spread hope and announce love through written and spoken word, just like this podcast. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode. Again, make sure to check out the show notes before you move on to the next thing, or move on to the next thing and then come back to it. Anyways, I'll be back with a brand new episode next Monday. Until then, keep on spreading hope. Much love. We'll talk to you soon.